We all know that we need to exercise self-care, but how do we go about doing that as busy moms or busy homeschooling moms? Well, in this video, I'm gonna give you some of my best tips to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Hey guys, it's Vani from Mrs. Mom's Homeschool and welcome to my channel. Today, we're gonna talk about mom self-care tips, and this video is in collaboration with Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool and Davine from Calm in the Chaos Homeschool. There's going to be a playlist in the description below with other homeschooling YouTubers as well that are going to give you their tips. You're going to have a lot of different people to look at for tips, and therefore you're gonna have a ton of tips to check out. So make sure you check out Shauna and Davine's channels as well as the rest of the playlist. As people in general, we all need balance. But when it comes down to motherhood, moms are so busy. We take on so many roles. Homeschooling especially is a big challenge in trying to find some time to yourself, because you don't have any time during the day to not be with your kids. Sometimes when you're going to work, you have, at least I know that you're working, but at least you have interaction with other adults. You get a lunch break, you know, you can go and have a whole hour of lunch break sometimes. You get that drive to and from work to listen to an audiobook or just jam out to music or just turn everything off and have some peace and quiet. And if you're a stay-at-home mom whose kids are in school, well, you have the whole day to be able to do all the things that you need or want to do. But as a homeschooling mom, our 98% of our time is occupied by our children. So how do you find time to replenish your spirit, replenish yourself, and be your best so that you're not a cranky homeschooling mama? So it basically all comes down to balance. As basic humans, we have physical needs, mental needs, social needs, emotional needs, and spiritual needs. And if we can find a way to take care of ourselves in each area, then I think that's a way to find good balance. So physically, what does that look like? What are some things we can do to take care of ourselves physically? Sure, you know, everybody's gonna tell you you can work out, go to the gym, but you can't, because I mean, you could put your kids in one of the play areas, but then, you know, that's a membership and all those things. So, and yes, it's important to take care of your body and be physically active, because that's also good for your mind. So my first tip is, if you want to find a way to take care of your physical, spiritual, and mental self at the same time, find some time to be outdoors. Now, we're doing self-care tips. I don't mean like taking your kids to the playground, because half the time they want to play with you. But is it possible that you have maybe you have older kids who can watch the kids for 30 minutes, or maybe your husband is home for 30 minutes where he can watch the kids, and you can go on a long walk, or you can go to the park by yourself, or even sit in your backyard, or take a bike ride, or just do something that is physical but also outdoors. Getting that fresh air and that sunshine is proven to help you feel happier and more refreshed, because we were meant to be outside. When God created Adam and Eve, he put them in a garden. He didn't put them in a hut. He put them in a garden. So we're happiest, I believe, when we are outdoors. So getting that time outside is definitely good for your mind and your spirit. And if you put some physical activity into it, then that's like a win-win. So what I do is I will take, and I don't do this every day, I do it especially when I find that I need like clarity of mind, when my mind is so overwhelmed. I've been doing so many different things and my life just feels chaos in here. I will have my older daughter stay with the kids. If my husband's home, then he's home, and I will take my bike out and I will ride it for like an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. I feel like 30 minutes is not enough on those days. So I would take an hour and just ride my bike. Sometimes I'll stop at the park. We're just blessed to be able to live in an area where we have parks that we can stop at, and we have like a bike trail. So if you don't have that, maybe you can, you know, find another place to go. But this is what I do. And then I pray during that time. Or if I'm having a problem, I'm really meditating on a solution to the problem. And I always get an answer, whether it's through prayer or meditation, on meditating on a problem. And I always get an answer on that hour of just silence and riding and being in nature and just, you know, that works for me. So find something that works for you. And maybe just get your body moving. Get your body moving a little bit. Also taking care of your body. We want to always make sure we're eating healthy. We're taking supplements. We're building up our immune systems. And if you're someone who is suffering from illnesses, you really want to look into your gut health. And this is not going to be a video where I'm going to try and sell you anything. But if you are suffering from ailments and body aches or autoimmune disease and you're having a hard time, really do some research on gut health and how taking care of your gut health is going to really help you change your life and help your health to feel a lot better. The second way that we need to take care of ourselves is mentally. So yes, I mentioned going outside is mentally stimulating and relaxing, but also what else stimulates your mind mentally? What makes you feel good when you're doing it? Are you a reader? Do you like to sit back and enjoy a good nonfiction book or even a good fiction book? Do you like to have time to read your Bible? Something that works your mind, but that you also enjoy doing. It could be doing a hobby, it could be crocheting, knitting, baking, anything that you're using your creative mind to do something that's enjoyable. Another way to take care of yourself mentally is to have some goals. What are some things you really want to do? Do you have maybe house projects or even like a hobby project that you really want to accomplish? Maybe you have a business you've been wanting to start or that you did start, but you don't really have time to focus on it. What are some things that you really want to do outside of homeschooling and taking care of your family that is something for yourself that you can work towards? And I would suggest writing these goals every single day in a planner or in a diary or something. That way you're keeping it fresh in your mind. And also, if you're one who does daily to-do list, write at least one task every day that leads you closer to doing your goal. Having goals gives us a sense of purpose, and it gives us a more sense of fulfillment, because sometimes being a mom and a teacher and a wife, it sometimes feels like you're constantly being pulled in different directions. So having goals gives you something for yourself that you are accomplishing, and it makes you feel good because you're doing something that you want to do. Not that you don't want to take care of your family or homeschool, because you do, but that comes with a set of frustrations on its own. But having something that's yours, there's just something about that, having something that's yours and that's aside from your kids and your husband. Socially, we need people, guys. I know a lot of you guys are self-proclaimed introverts, but we need each other. We were made to be social people, social creatures. That doesn't mean you have to be around people all the time. Like, I always need my downtime. After being socially stimulated all day, I need to go and have a couple of hours of quiet, and I don't ever get that. But at least if I can get an hour of downtime, and I call it my detox time at night, where there's like not a lot of lights or sound or people, then I'm good. But making time for friends, making time to make friends. How do you make friends at this age? Well, personally, when I first moved here to Florida, I had my family, so my cousins were my friends, and those were the people that I hung out with all the time. When I started homeschooling shortly after and joining the homeschool group, I put myself out there to make new friendships along with my kids, and these are the same friends that I've had for the 11 years that I've been homeschooling, and I'm making more as I go along every year in the homeschool groups. I'm making more and more friends, and I'm really enjoying these times. So as we have our play dates and we have our activities, even if it's just once or twice a week, communicating with these women is awesome. And then having a close circle of friends that you talk to even just texting on a daily or at least weekly basis, checking in on each other, updating each other on your lives, sharing tips, doing a business together. Whatever it is, even if it's just going to church weekly, being around people, not just going to church, but like having conversations and a relationship with other people, even if it's just one person. We need to not feel lonely. And I know that we have our spouse, but there's something about having relationships with other women that's different than a relationship with your husband. I don't know, I've just been learning this the past 10 years, that there's nothing like, you're gonna see a light shining in my face because my laptop keeps going black, and then I keep bringing it back because I have my notes here. But there's something about a relationship with another woman as a friendship that is different than having it with your husband. I can't really explain that, it's just different. And I didn't realize that until, like I said, the past 10 years, till I started homeschooling and really developing relationships with other women. Emotionally, need to take care of your emotions. If you're a person who has gone through a lot of traumatic events or a lot of stressful things, and you have, maybe it's in your childhood or even just like life, like the past 5 years or like last year or like yesterday, you need to work through those emotions if they are emotions that are haunting you, and help yourself cope through them. I recommended a book in my other video. It was called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die, something like that. And that really has helped me to process a lot of the emotions that I was having. And I am at a very good place right now. A lot of you guys who have been following me for a while, you know some of my story. But yes, so this just dealing with your emotions, whether it's crying it out, writing it out, speaking to someone, praying about it, like reading books about how to deal with your emotions. Just deal with the emotions if you have any emotions that are keeping you from experiencing full joy at this time of your life. Now, if you're in the midst of problems and situations, just having a faith in God, remembering if you are a Christian, you are God's child, and we were not promised that we were not going to have trials on this life. But we were promised that we have a God and a Savior who is there to help us through it. So things don't always turn out how we want them. The outcome of our struggles are not always what we want them to be. But God is always going to be there if you have that faith in Him, and if you follow Him and you live your life righteously, to comfort you and to help you through it. And He promised in His word that He will work all things out for good for those who love the Lord and are called according to His purpose. So remember that if you are in the midst of a season that is just really difficult, remember it is a season. Ladies, I went through a season, I swear it was like a decade long of hardships. And I thank God for my homeschool and this YouTube channel that have really helped me to be stable throughout that time. These were things that I enjoy doing, and kept me on my feet and being able to like continue to survive. But sometimes a season is a very, very long time, and sometimes it's short, but there's an end to the season. There's always an end to the season, and everything becomes a memory. So if you are in a good place right now, cherish that good place, because there will be a time when the trials are going to come. Cherish your children, your husband, your health, your home, your co-ops, your friendships, your homeschool, your businesses, because let's be realistic, if you guys have been homeschooling for a long time, your kids end up moving out of the house and everything just changes and life changes. So if you are in a good place right now, cherish that. If you're in a bad place right now, cherish the good, any good that you have in your life right now, hold on to that. And if you're overcoming some things, stay in the present moment. Do not think about the past. Do not meditate on the past. Do not dwell on the past. Just leave it in the past. Don't look to the future. That creates anxiety. And don't think about the past. That creates depression. Just stay right here, right now, and trust that God has got your back, because He does. And that leads into spiritually as well. I basically said that. Develop your relationship with the Lord. If you're a Christian, develop your relationship with God, reading His word, reading Christian books, listening to preachers, listening to Christian music, having like-minded friends that are Christians, and going to maybe a women's service or women's joining a small group. Just constantly building yourself. And I read in the book that I also told you guys about, called Changed into His Image, that there was there were two great illustrations. One was, if you want to get a tan, you are out in the sun. The more time you spend in the sun, the more tan you're going to get. So the more time you spend with the sun, the more of Him is going to shine through you in your life. And the other one was about a tea bag. If you have a tea bag, you need to put it in hot water in order for the flavor to come out into the water. Well, that hot water is kind of like the trials of our lives. If you are the tea bag, whatever comes out of you during those trials, that is stored up in your heart. So if bad things are coming out of you when you're put under pressure, then you know you got some stuff to work on, because you don't want all that bad stuff coming out of you. You want good things coming out of you even when you're put under pressure. So working on your spiritual life and letting Christ change you from inside out, well, when you're going through trials, you'll start to produce a better flavor of tea than something that's bitter and nasty. And we also need to get pruning sometimes. We need to get rid of things that are not serving us right now, whether it be relationships, activities, situations, whatever it is that is depleting us of our energy, our time, our happiness, it's time to do some pruning in your lives to get rid of those things, because we should be living a life of joy and of peace regardless of what we're going through. So if you have things in your life that are not bringing you joy and peace, you need to figure out how to either change that situation or get rid of it. In some situations you can't get rid of. Let's say your husband's not bringing you peace, you don't want to just get rid of him, but there's something that you can do to work things out, to change things so that you are having peace. If you need to seek help, be in prayer on your knees all the time. Like, do whatever it is that you need to do to create a change in a situation where you can't just get rid of. Like if it's your kids, you can't just get rid of your kids if they're not bringing you peace, but there are ways that you can fix things. And if you have no idea what that is, then get some books, get some audio books, get some advice from other parents, ask around, get some help, because you don't have to figure everything out on your own. There is help out there. And I've read so many good books that have really helped me to reach where I am right now. I was having problems in every single area of my life. And I was a crazy mess all inside my emotions. And praise God, I'm in a really good place right now. And you guys can be too if you are a hot mess like I was. So in conclusion, we need balance. We need balance in all the areas of our life. Take care of yourself so that you can better take care of others. You can better take care of your family. You can better take care of your husband. You can better serve other people. You can serve the Lord better. So being at your best means finding balance in every area of your life. And I really hope that I brought you guys even like one bit of advice that could help you become a better you, make you feel better, because you deserve to be happy and have peace. Even through the trials, you deserve to be happy and have peace. So if you guys have any questions or any comments, please leave them below. I love reading your comments. I really appreciate all the comments that you guys leave on my videos. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.